Hey guys, my name is Ryan, and we're back again with another Spirit Island video. I just moved across the country, and while I was in the process of moving, the latest expansion came out to the Handelabra official digital app. And that being Promo Pack 2, as you can see the little ad here on the side, it comes with 2 spirits, 1 adversary, 2 scenarios, 5 aspects, and 5 fear cards. So what specifically does it come with? Well, it comes with a new adversary in the form of Scotland. Scotland is everyone's favorite adversary. I think this adversary is simply fantastic. I think it's the best adversary in the game, the most fun, it's very approachable, and so this is a fantastic addition. It also comes with 2 new spirits. We get Finder of Paths Unseen, a very high complexity spirit. Some would say the most complex spirit. The upper end of what this spirit can deliver on is just so high, but being able to get there is a giant web of very complicated decisions. And so I think one of the trickiest parts with playing this spirit is you see another person who's just so good at Finder, and then you try and replicate that in your own games, and then that becomes a struggle. But once you see the things that Finder can do, it completely opens your mind to this game. The other spirit that was added is Downpour Drenches the World. A very, very unique, very interesting spirit. I think this is a very compelling spirit design. It really has its own thing going on. It has its very, very unique play pattern that no other spirit has truly been able to replicate. We also are going to get 2 scenarios. So we've got the diversity of spirits. Now, when Spirit Island was being originally created, this scenario is actually the way that the game was intended to be designed. This is actually the original iteration of the game, is Diversity of Spirits. Now, the digital version of Diversity of Spirits is actually different than your physical printed copy, which I think is very interesting. In your printed copy, it's going to be a lot closer to what it says over here for the online multiplayer. Basically, you have to play all your power cards face down. You cannot show other people your cards, and you cannot talk about your strategy. You simply need to give each other like a little wink and a nod and just say you're ready to go, and that's about all you can do. Then once the fast phase starts, then the cards can become visible, and then you can start to play out your turns, but you're not supposed to give detailed, complex strategy conversations. So just a very different approach, but as I understand, this is actually the way the game was originally designed and originally intended for. For this digital version, they have a multi-handed solo, and it's pretty interesting. I'm not sure I'm going to do anything with it, because once you have your game plan and you know what you want to do, it doesn't really add that much. It just simply requires you to lock more into your memory before you put things on the screen. I guess the only thing that it really does change is one spirit has to gain all their cards before the other spirits can, and so there is restrictions on the information possible, but not to a massive degree, because you can still hedge in a lot of ways. The other scenario is varied terrains, and this is actually one of my favorite scenarios. All it does is just add a little modifier to each of the 4 different terrain types. So one of the reasons I like this scenario is you can tack it on to any adversary in any situation, and it creates a unique flavor. So I like scenarios that do not completely warp the game in and of themselves. It just kind of adds flavor to the game. And so I think that's what Varied Terrains does, and I think this is a fantastic one that I definitely look forward to playing sometime. Now, we also got 5 new fear cards, not that they're gonna... I guess I can just add them to the screen afterwards. We've got Angry Mobs. This is an incredibly powerful fear card. This is a huge boost to the spirits to get this added to the deck. It can oftentimes just win you the game on the spot. Communities in Disarray, it's fine. Nothing worth planning around. We've got Depopulation. It can make you win the game, although it's not a completely overwhelming one, but it is just a very strong fear card in general. You've got Mimic the Dahan, another nice, just very strong one, and then Spreading Timidity, however you pronounce that. Very useful. Isolate is always great at all points of the game. At worst, the absolute worst that it can be is basically just a temporary wild token, but against most adversaries, it can be so much more. And of course, getting free defend is extra nice as well. Another great thing that came with this expansion is we got some more aspects. We got aspects for all of the original 4 low complexity spirits. So for lightning, we get the immense aspect. It's a shame we can't see too much of the art just because this rules text is just a massive brick. But this is the one where you double your energy and you cut your card plays in half. So instead of just dumping a massive pile of minor powers every single turn, you have fewer card plays, but they're so much bigger, so much stronger. And then there's a ton of just free element stuff in order to compensate for our lack of elements on tracks and not having card plays, actually allowing us to threshold majors. Super, super fun one. Really, really nice. Next we got River, and we have the travel aspect. And this is certainly the strongest version of River. I think this is much stronger than base River. It allows you to move Dahan all around the board for free every single turn. You get 2 of them to move for free, which means that you can always get effective Dahan and defense. As soon as you draft any kind of a defend card, the spirit just explodes in strength. In addition, we get a free defend 1 at our sacred sites. Free defend 1 anywhere that we have 4 or more Dahan, which is not completely game-breaking, but it is useful in so many different ways. It makes the Russia matchup so much easier. A single Explorer is now just defended, and we don't need to worry about it. A single town somewhere is going to be taken care of. I mean, outside of those fringe situations, there's not a lot going on, but it is nice, right? It gives you a little extra something. We also are going to get Vital Strength of the Earth with the Might aspect. This one we get a lot of art because there is no special rule. Instead, we have a second innate power. And this one basically just kind of fixes a lot of the problems with the spirit. It allows us to play extra cards to compensate for, this extra 1 node right here is oftentimes extremely frustrating. So giving us extra card play is nice. Getting us an extra power card is also really nice because this is really, really tough, especially when we no longer have the bonus for Sacred Sites. Growth 2 just becomes a lot weaker. So being able to pick up power cards with this new innate is very nice. And then the other 2 just give us bonus damage, which is important because Rituals of Destruction taps out at 5 damage for 3 energy, which is just not great. So this does a lot to make Earth a lot more playable. It's definitely stronger than Resilience and Base. It's not the strongest version of Earth. That would eventually come with Nature's Incarnate, but it is the strongest version that we now have access to on the digital version. And then we have the perpetual problem of shadows flicker like flame. Madness didn't quite solve the problems. Reach is basically now just base. It still has a lot of issues, but hey, it's just strictly better than the base version. But now we have 2 new aspects. We have the amorphous aspect, which allows us to move our presence all over the board, akin to something like a Silent Mist. Being able to just move our presence all over the place. We get 1 movement during the slow phase, or 1 movement during the fast phase. We can go just push to an adjacent land, or we can teleport to Dahan anywhere across the island. So it makes us much, much more mobile. However, it does not give us bonus range, so this Concealing Shadows is still really tough to use. This Concealing Shadows, I think, is one of those cards that has caused nothing but problems for every single version of Shadows that exists. For the original base Shadows, they made you pay an energy in order to use it without losing a presence. And then they added other things Foreboding we'll get back to in a second. But Madness, if our presence is destroyed, we get a fear. So Concealing Shadows would basically give us an extra fear. The Growth, adding the Strife, was trying to... Well, it was kind of almost like a non-bow with Concealing Shadows. Because if we're going to be protecting the Dahan, then we really don't need the Strife. And so that doesn't work super great. The extra range means that we don't need to lose presence. So, and then of course, this Foreboding, your other powers may ignore range when targeting this land. So, another way of making Concealing Shadows playable. I think this single card is really just the death knell of the Spirit. It's really our only defensive option, and it's pretty unplayable. But hey, last we got this Foreboding. Once again, we have no special rule, but we have a second innate power. This one, of course, that we can ignore range. And it also adds some extra stuff where fear now becomes a push. And then the rest of it creates fear, aka creates a push. So this, up to this point on Digital, is the best version of Shadows. Of course, with Darkfire is the overall best version, but up until the release of Darkfire, Foreboding is, in my opinion, the best way to play the Spirit. So anyways, with all that said, let us play. We can sort by expansion, which makes it a lot easier to find our finder over here. Find the finder. Hey! We're going to do... the 2 new spirits and the new adversary, and that's going to be the whole game. So we've got Finder and Downpour against the Kingdom of Scotland. Let's get it. All right. So as part of setup, we can put a Finder presence on any board on land number 1. It doesn't really make sense to go into this land just because they're already adjacent, so we really don't gain a lot of territory here. So we're going to go onto our own board. Oh yeah, and of course then that means we'd both be starting in the same land, which is just another degree of not super necessary. Okay, well this is 2 much more complicated spirits, and we're trying to play them two-handed, single player. So this is going to be a lot more talking, a lot more of a slow opening to the game. So we're going to be taking our time here. We're going to be chilling, but it'll be all right. This is a very, very easy first explore for Scotland. All 4 of these sands have no other invaders, so we're not going to be looking at like a 7 damage Ravage or a 6 damage Ravage. They're all going to be 3 damage Ravages, and we managed to hit a double coastland. So only on the initial Explorer will you get an Explorer instead of a town when you explore the coast. I guess when you do the coastal card, you're going to get 2 towns and 1 Explorer, but of course both these guys isolate. Our intention is to pretty much not do any exploring on that 1 turn, but I digress. This is an extremely nice high roll. That's actually literally the best one, right? If it was mountains, that would be extremely hard. That's probably why they don't want you to pair B and E together. you can roll really, really dramatically. Okay, so with Downpour, we can use our innate to just create passive defense. And so, I mean, that's the most action-efficient thing that we can do. Certainly, we're going to want to do that here in land number 3. When we use our passive defense, we're also going to be reducing, and that's, of course, with this left innate, we're going to be reducing the amount of Dahan counterattack damage. But if we get Defend 2, reduce the counterattack by 2, in a land with 2 Dahan, it'll still do 2 damage back, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, and that's going to be enough to kill the town. So that's a free town pickup. If we can do it with a sacred site, which is, good to get more wetlands coverage. If we get a sacred site here, then every single land will be within 1 range of a wetlands for Dark Skies. If we manage to get the second tier of our innate, so maybe we do like a G3 this turn and a G2 next turn. So that way we can go 2 card plays plus a water, plus 2 waters here for 5 total waters. Then we can do this with 1 presence. And if we manage to do it with 1 presence, we could go like presence here, presence here, presence here. And then we'd be able to defend all 3 of these lands. For Finder, we don't I mean, like, yeah, we can push this out, but it's adjacent to a city, so it'll just grow again. So I like the idea of like the super efficient next turn with Downpour, that triple defend. So we're going to really slow roll this one. When you're thinking of cards to pick with Downpour, I mean, you can always just take the water cards, and that'll generally treat you just fine. Any card is going to be really strong when you play it a million times. And so in order to play things extra, you just want to have all the extra water elements. But you also obviously want to consider, like, which cards do you really want to, like, which cards get better when you play it multiple times. So Call to Ferocity is one of those cards where you can move Dahan, or if there is Dahan, you can push. But if you play it twice, you can move Dahan and then immediately push things out. So it gives you a ton more flexibility, and it costs 0. So you, it's really easy to confuse Downpour with Relentless Gaze of the Sun. Relentless Gaze of the Sun makes you pay extra energy for your repeats. Downpour does not. And so Downpour really, really loves those 0 costs because there's no additional cost to play it over and over again. Call to Ferocity, when you play it twice in a row, just becomes so much stronger than just like an extra strife and extra fear, right? Like, that's like pretty linear value. This, the second use is much, much stronger than the first use, or at least the potential of that second use is much higher than the potential of that first use. So I'm going to take this Call to Ferocity. And that's a range 3 growth. Now, we could just go here, like, we could go to any of these sands, and then with our double growth, like, even if we went here, we could go 2 away, and then use this move presence to then get at the last little step. So, no matter how we do this, we're going to be able to get all of our needs met, but I'm just going to go all the way up in the corner first. And then as far as what do we want to do... Actually, here's a funny thought. I could play Foundations this turn. So maybe instead of going here, maybe I add my presence like up here. And then we just play a Foundations. Just kill this town. And then go from there. 2 water, so I get all my money back. Yeah, why not? Now for Finder, I also really don't have to do anything. And so one of the tricky things with Finder is you just gotta find these opportunities to do like nothing, right? Obviously, your early game is going to be your weakest part of your game because we start with 0 energy and only 1 card play, but everything requires 2 card plays in order to be threshold, right? Like, these innates are insanely powerful. You can use the fact that we have 6 cards, and you can, one of your openings that you can go for is to do extra card plays for a few turns, and you can play out your whole hand, and it is a very, very strong opening. However, then your reclaim is really tough because you're going to have tons of energy, but only 1 card play, and so like then you're going to go for a major, and you might not get the exact major that fits the way that you sculpted your board. A lot of the majors are a little bit more niche to use, where they're extremely powerful, but less generically so, which I think is a good thing. But being able to just pick up a few drafts is really, really nice whenever you can sneak in, because then we can extend the time before we have to go for that reclaim. And all of our presence points are extremely strong. If the dream really is if you can get yourself up to the 4 energies, you go top, 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 and then you pick up the move your presence with the free air and the extra card play. So those 5, if you reclaim on turn 6, then you're just in an extremely strong position and you can end the game in a flash. So I think I'm going to take the opportunity this turn to gain a card. Just because I don't think there's any benefit to doing things this turn. This Call to Guard gives us a solution to land number 1. We do really like Defend on Finder, because if we kill things ourselves, we have to sacrifice presence. But if we just set up a really nice Dahan and Defend, then we don't. So this Call to Guard, of course, it's also a 0 cost, and we can use all 3 of those elements. So I think this is a really nice pickup. Also, it's the kind of card that we're going to want to play next turn, because we want to use this Lay Paths, the Sun Air innate, and this is both Sun and Air, so that's pretty slick. As far as what do we do this turn, though, Well, we're going to have 0 energy, so that really cuts down our options pretty good and quick. Circuitous and Winning Journey is nice if and only if we get a Mountain Explorer, because then we can push both the cities out and let the disease do its work. But if this is a Mountains, then we can go do it in the slow phase of next turn. So it's either going to be Path's Tide or Traveler's Boon. And I figure we'll just do a Path's Tide, because no matter what comes up, we'll be able to just knock out one of the lands. So if it is jungles, we can take from the jungles up here. Maybe we should grow. If we grow over here, then we can get the jungles to match up. Wetlands, that being a really nice one to pair up, just because it's already going to be so tall. And then, yeah, mountains are here. We could just kick both those out. Yeah. Let's go for a little Path's Tide. Okay, we got the wetlands. Okay. So yeah, definitely picking up this land number 6 is gonna be nice. One thing that I found when playing with this guy so far that I really wish that they had is I wish they had a counter going. So because we have 2 of these two waters, we get 1 use of either energy or repeat, but I don't have a counter going. So if you use some in the fast phase and then some in the slow phase, there's no way to track how many reps you've used. So that is one little piece of feedback I'll give in case any of the devs are watching. That'd be something I'd really like to have. Now, I did say that we could kick things out of land number 6, but I actually think we might want to kick things in. And we could just eat a blight here and just let life go on. If we clear out this land number 4, then we don't need to deal with the blight cascade. We could just like eat a blight here and, you know, life goes on. We could also push things out of the 1, but it'll still build. And we have this Unbearable Deluge, so we'll still be able to defend the land anyways. Okay, so Finder is definitely a spirit I have a lot less experience with, and I've already pretty much know what I want to be doing with Downpour, so let's just get Downpour done first. We're going to be adding a presence. Oh, did I go top track? Oh, that changes everything. Okay. Well, I guess... hold on. Did I really just screw myself like that? If I do this and this, and then I play a tri-element card, we'll be okay. Oh, that is grotesque. That is not what I intended at all. Oh my gosh. We're making some errors. Wow. Okay. Dang, I was really hoping to use this Unbearable Deluge next turn here in land number 1. I might be forced to reclaim. Ooh, that is a tough situation. Well, this will get me my defend 2. So, made some errors, and we're going to have to roll with it. Okay. That's fine. Life goes on. So, pivoting then, I think I will use Finder to kick out this from the 1, and then next turn we can just, passively defend it. So we'll go here to defend this, and then any air card, aka anything in my hand, will give us the ability to push this town out. I want to hold on to this Offer Passage. We can just use that to save the 8 if we don't, use any number of Finder's other tools in order to deal with it. We could use Securitas, and then after this builds up, just push it out again. Oh yeah, we need to do this. But I do like Ways of Shore and Heartland. Once you are in a very comfortable position, slow cards just become better. Because you can just wait to see what the invaders do and react to them. Since we're going into stage 2, there's 4 different possibilities. And so, there's really no point in calculating. Because the options are everything. And so, slow cards like Ways gives you, of course, the most options, the most control over your situation. And so I think it's a really nice play here. It also is going to give me double isolate. So I can use that to, certainly I'll pick up this jungle here. Against Scotland, Isolate is insanely strong. Now, these two spirits are both have Isolate in their kit. Finder much more than Downpour, but of course Downpour does have this Dark Skies. Isolate's super strong in Scotland, right? It can protect the coast. It will deny their really strong explorers, and it'll deny their adjacency builds. But also with Scotland 6, there is ways of getting extra invaders on the board. So this land, Scotland 6 isn't going to trigger on, right? There's no adjacent buildings. But up here, there is an adjacent building. And so if there's nothing else to do, I could isolate land number 5, and then it's not adjacent. Although actually, I don't know what the ruling is, because it's within 1 range. And because it has one itself, I think it will still get a city. Maybe this is a good opportunity because we're kind of just rolling the dice on an explore here. Oh, actually, sorry, we could also isolate this, right? Push out, isolate, and then it's solved. That's actually a lot stronger. Some other day we'll test that. Or maybe someone smart can just tell me the rule is if we isolate this. I've always played it that you're going to get a city because it's within 1 range of itself. I don't know. Let me know. And then might as well play it to get a Fear and a Dahan push. Only place for a good Dahan push is out of this land. Oh, and it gives me the Isolate. So we don't isolate with Finder. We're going to isolate with Downpour. Yeah, we're going to let land number 6 just get huge. Just take a Blight, and then we can always remove Blight. Another reason why Downpour is just insane in this matchup. Both these spirits are absolutely insane versus Scotland. So while they are both complex, they both obliterate Scotland. It's just it's a bit of a challenge to get there. As far as my other isolate goes, Yeah, maybe we'll just see what the game says. Okay. In the single land with the most invaders, which is going to be here, we push. So really happy that these are isolated because I don't want the push to go into these lands. It'll create a build. It'll go past my defend. So kicking out to these lands... Oh, that's going to create a build here. That's unfortunate. That might be where our ways goes. Let's go here. And then we'll make this land as weak as possible. So that way... Ooh, that means that we're going to Scotland 6 here, though. If I were to put an explorer in the 8 as opposed to a town, that denies a town from existing. So if we go here, here, and here, makes this land stronger. But do I care about Scotland 6? I'm inclined to say no, because that keeps this land as a problem. So let's go here, here, and here. Now Downpour can drop a presence in both the 4 and the 6, which we have a free presence move. We reclaim, we get another presence move, but we don't have the 2 extra waters, so we're not going to be able to get that double. It keeps these as weak as possible. Finder can deal with 1, Downpour can deal with 1. Okay, and it did give me an extra town here. So, Scotland... So the game interprets it the way that I've been playing, which feels good. Okay, both of these boards have just the 2 starting cities, so we can escalate onto either board. And so now, really, with the ideally, we would like to have the same land eat all the escalations. Just back-to-back wetlands is fascinating. First off, insane value on that isolate. Which side do I want to eat the escalations on? Let's see, both spirits already have pretty good coverage on board B. And board E is minorly easier to pocket, right? Like, we control these lands, and then 8's just not in the game anymore. Of course, 8 is very much in the game for the short term. But my escalation lands is like here and here. Over here, I could go like 5 and 7. That's alright. Okay. So I think, once again, our 6 is a perfectly fine land to let get huge. So I can push 2 things from the 4 to the 6. I can push 2 things from the 8 to the 6. Different 6. If I push this here, and then we isolate out the 6, then this land is just solved. Over here, it's going to take a little bit more loving to make that work. But I do like the turn-over turn value if we just get the isolate in land number 6. Okay. Quicken is really good because of all of our presence movement. It's really easy for us to make sacred sites anywhere that we want them. However, because our innate makes Dahan weaker, Quicken loses a lot of value. Now, the other way that Quicken's useful is for the damage side, at which point it's very similar to Foundations, except it's fast. But both sides of Quicken kind of do things that we're already doing. Renewing Rain is a very compelling card. Wilds is very strong into Scotland. Call to ISO. Call to ISO is just a very strong card in general. Another one of those where like you can, because also a difference between Downpour and Gaze is that with Downpour you can change your targets. So we could, because you like push, and then in a different land, then you push. So Call to Isolation is very strong, repeated for that reason. I'm really looking at this Renewing Rain though. Blight removal is just so nice into Scotland, like with this pairing, because you just make like an infinitely large land, and then you just let it go. With this being wetlands though, being so huge, Renewing Rain obviously will not take care of it. You will have to use our innate for that. But the fact that we got the back-to-back wetlands is nice, and it's an inland wetlands, so like we could get it here, but in the 50% chance that we don't get wetlands on this card, then it's a really long time before we have to deal with that wetlands. I think anything that we play this turn, or anything we take this turn, we're not playing this turn. This is also a really big dump land, number 6. And that is targetable with Renewing Rain. Definitely not Song of Sanctity. So it's between these two. I think I'm going to take the Renewing Rain. Let's see. If I go here, and then we go Dark Skies, so I can ISO out the 6. We can also ISO out the 4. If Finder hops in here and gets things pushed out. So if we do a half plus 1, so if we go for an Offer Passage plus a Circuitous, then we can empty out the 4. Dark Skies twice, going ISO, ISO. And then this whole board is just solved for next turn. So we go here, and we could also choose to play Traveler's Boon, but I don't see any good uses for it. Now, we could do is we could change how we moved our presence, so we could like bring an invader in, because then, because it's actually going to work out the exact same, right? So if there's 3 invaders, half rounded down is 1, plus 1 for 2 invaders pushed. But if there's 4, and then that means that there's 1 invader left over. Make it an Explorer, Dark Skies empties it. If we bring an invader in by, like, you know, taking this town, bringing it in, it's going to be 4 invaders, half rounded down is 2, plus 1 is 3, that leaves 1 invader behind. So we wind up in the exact same situation, except we also just pick up a town somewhere else. So I find it pretty hard to use Traveler's Boon effectively in smaller games. Like, in a huge game, it's awesome, right? Like, you can just be like, hey, you're like 7 boards over, just get over here, and now you could just have access to so much more stuff. Honestly, like, just getting someone's presence across the island is, like, one of the best parts of Traveler's Boon, not even, like, the rest of it. So, we can do this. We could pick up this town here, We could pick up this town here or this town here. I like the idea of getting the blighted lands emptied out, just for like those back-to-back reasons. But it is a jungle, and I have Renewing Rain for covering it. So we're going to do... No, I want to keep this presence here, right? That's going to obviously be a land. Like, we bring this over here, bring this in here, and then slides over, and then we kill it. So let's do this for now. And then I'm playing Dark Skies. That's fine. Yeah, because we're going to move it. Okay. Traveler's Boon. Offer Passage, we're only playing for elements, so what are you going to do? Okay, 2. Oh, we can push presence and all that stuff. So, I mean, we don't need to have anything in this land for Finder afterwards, so we might as well just go out here. Then we can push this out. We'll go Dark Skies. And I don't see any reason for us to do a push. It just creates potential problems elsewhere. We do get an ISO. Isolating here would mean that next turn there's literally only one land to worry about. And so then our game plan will just be to throw some presence in. Like throw one of our Downpour presence in there. And then remove the Blight. So we'll probably go for like a G2 top bottom. And then play Gift of Abundance. Pick up that Blight. And then do something else. I guess we'll just do this. And then we can ISO. Yeah, I mean, ISOing here is pretty strong. It's going to be a stage 2. So instead of ISOing this, we can ISO the 2. And then there's going to be no city adjacency, so it won't build for that reason. Although on escalation, we can go like 8 and 3. So we still don't need to add anything here. But by doing this, we can potentially deny the existence of a town. Oh, well, F. So that's isolated. So this one can only go to the 1. That's super unfortunate. I guess we should have isolated the 1. Well, how about that? Well, that just made things trickier. Ooh, we also denied this Explorer. That's nice. Could have denied that one too. Alas. Alright, that's fine. Unfortunate, but life goes on. If we play both of these cards, that will once again allow me to full clear out land number 1. Then Aid from Spirit Speakers will push out the 3. So that's fine. Oh, we're missing a moon. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Do we take this moon here to save ourselves 3 blight? Yeah. Let's think about that. Yeah. So if we go... We could also just pick up the any element, which is obviously just strictly better than the moon, because this also gives us +1 energy, and it's just more flexible over the course of the game. Over here, we'll go here, and then now we're looking at one of the jungles. Certainly want to protect the 4. So we'll go here and here. Let's get rid of you, and... Let's see, we're going to play Gift of Abundance. We don't have a Sacred Site, so let's just get rid of this Renewing Rain. Okay. Might not be a bad time just to repeat into land number 6. Just pop all those towns. Yeah. See, Finder has destroyed presence. We don't have one yet. Let's get Finder back at it. Obviously not here. Yeah, it would just be returning a presence here, which is fine. Go here, and then I don't think there's any reason to move anything else. Is there anything worth repeating? We could clear the 3, kicking both of these guys out to the 7. We have more than enough energy, right? So, like, the gain 2 energy is largely irrelevant to me. I think that's fine. Right, because right now we're thinking about prepping for... We know that this is going to be the coastal card here. And we got to do a lot of prep for that. So, getting all these lands emptied out... Yeah. Oh, we don't have range for that. Okay. That's fine. We have a lot of good lands for circuitous. Because we got mountains, wetlands, jungles, sands. So we got lots of targets for circuitous to repeat that. Physical action, okay. Extra explorers, that's fine. And then there is a push. It's the only time where you really need to do that with Finder. So we got a push here. Pushing out. And that's also got a push. Yeah, let's go here and here. Pushed from board E. Yep, so... Oh, sorry, yep. Here and here. Pushing a town. Cross. And then from board B... pushing a town into the big land. Unfortunately, we weren't able to isolate the 6, and so we are going to have these little problems pop up, but it's not going to be horrible. First successful build action, there's no adjacency. That is going to cause an adjacency, that's fine. Okay, we got the sands, wetlands. Wetlands back again. Okay. This is enough to make us lose, by the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands with cities. So... here we can push a town over to the 6. Here we can push a town over to the 7. We can push 2 towns and explore. Also, this land is going to be the one that we're going to be killing a bunch of stuff in. So we could just push things into the 6. So we can do something like... pair here and here. Go here with it. Don't need you, and then we can push you over. We can go here and here. Pushing you over. Pushing you here. Damage to each. Damage to each. Just pick up a quick little 4 fear. And I have I have 2 uses left. Because I used 1 repeat. So I could just kill both of these towns here in the 3. Could kill this town. And that's significant because then I have my Defend 2 innate, which will fully cover that. On this next turn, I will not be able to hit this. Because next turn we're going to want to play this Dark Skies. We're going to have to reclaim. ISO you out. Because it denies a build and an explore. So I could kill both of these towns, and then ISO push, and then probably play like a Unbearable Deluge as my second card in order to solve the 4. So we could do something like this. Or actually, let's just see the card first. Steam Vents is a nice card. It's kind of hard for us to hit the triple Earth. We do eventually pick up a free Earth. That's like way down the line. It'll be a few turns before we get there. It is a nice one, though. Just to straight up defend 4 is also very nice. Yeah, we'll take it. I'm not going to play it for a good long time, though. And then do this. And then we can play you and you. So yeah, one use of this will be defend 3, and then we get 2 iterations of defend 1. So this then will be solved. Only problem is that we don't have blight removal with this package. Let's see what kind of a major we pull. Okay, you can just like infinite vitality, GG. Okay, every single one of these cards here is actually really strong for Finder. Infinite Vitality, Unrelenting Growth are obviously strong. Jungle Hungers is infinite damage, which is the kind of thing that Finder really likes. Because you have to sacrifice a presence and pay an energy for every action that kills invaders, not based on the quantity of invaders killed. So you don't want to do 1 damage at a time and pick off explorers. You want to do 9 damage at a time or kill all towns at a time. Okay. Now, both of these are harder to threshold. Actually, I mean, all of them are hard to threshold. Just because triple plant is something that we don't really have access to. I guess we do have the any node. We can go any plus paths tied by nature. And then that will not get us jungle hungers. We do have a sun and a water already. So we actually can do all 3 of these for accelerated rot. And then with paths tied by nature, that's a fully thresholded accelerated rot. That's good enough for me to want to take that. And this Traveler's Boon we're probably not going to use. So if we go for Accelerated Rot... Oh, next turn then. Okay. This turn... If we do this... Push you... if we have a sun, air, water, we can push this, and then we get 1 ISO. We have a sun, air, water card. We do not. So I could do this, plus a water to pick up 1 ISO. ISOing here. So now we're taking 1 blight. And we're denying... We got triple ISO on the coast. So we're just going to take 3 explorers. And then none of the 3 that are exploring are ravaging on the next turn. So we have time to deal with it. It's pretty good. Yeah, it feels pretty good. Unfortunately, this inland wetland situation, because we weren't able to get the ISO on the 6 on that 1 turn, it's caused a lot of problems for us, right? Scotland 6 and Explore all didn't have to happen. Yeah, I don't think there's any other value to be gained. I mean, we could... We have only 1 repeat left. Right? I really, really wish we had that counter. If we had 2 repeats left... I mean, I guess we don't have the energy, but I was going to say we could theoretically clear out the 5. Cultural ASIM has no targets, and then the rest of it, there is no push, so skip for the rest of the phase. Ooh, clears out the 5. That's really nice for us. That is going to cause a lot of blight. Holy cow. Alright, well, time to get blighty. Oh, it's only a 1 land? Whew, thank you. 1 damage isn't going to do anything. Oh man, this is Downpour's favorite one because we can probably just avoid that for the whole game. We just stick on 2 card plays and we don't play any giant majors, and then we can just ignore the Blight card altogether. That's pretty fun. Okay, and then all of these, there is no choices. They all have to get their towns. Okay. Okay. So we've got some lands to remove some blight from. We can only do one of them with our innate. We'll remove this one because this has better cascade paths. We can use aid from Sirius because I was going to say is the ticket here. I mean, we're Finder. We can make it work. Definitely not an Accelerator Rot turn because like the mountains are the land that matters, and that's just not going to be an issue. So definitely Circuitous is coming out this turn. I mean, we could just do Offer Passage just to protect the 8, and then we just don't need to worry about that land anymore. We could defend the 3 with a Call to Guard. You're definitely going to want to do Circuitous, as well as maybe a Waze. Circuitous and Waze, I think, sets us up nicely. You want +1 range on everything? Or do you want the air element? I'm inclined to, at this point, because like being able to move presence is kind of the same as getting the +1 range. Like we can just get presence anywhere that we want to at any time. So I think that just has higher value. I think the +1 energy really doesn't matter. Let's break up the Sacred Site. We don't need you. And we can go Circuitous and Waze. And then with the extra element, we can pick up either an Isolation or a single push. If instead of Waze, if I did something like Offer Passage, which actually, yeah, Offer Passage solves that. Okay. Then I just take up a water, and then that'll give me an ISO, and then a half rounded down plus a push. 2, 3, 4, 5, so that'd be 2, 3, a triple push coming out of like land number 2. As opposed to 2 pushes out of land other number 2. And then over here, we'll just, since we don't want to go up to 3 card plays anyways because of this Blighted Island effect, we'll just go top track. We'll remove this Blight, and then what if this was the Foundation's turn? We go make a Sacred Site in land number 2. And then we do this. And then we do this. And then we do this. And then we do... Ooh, we could even Renewing Rain here. But I just like playing as much Gift of Abundance as possible. And then we do this. And then we push everything into land number 2. That'd be pretty good. We know this card is either going to be a Sands or a Mountains. And Mountains I'm fine with getting. So we'll ISO out this with Finder. here. Go here. We'll go here. I think repeating makes sense. Repeating circuitous is very nice. Just have less presence on this board, so just better get over there. Don't repeat this. Oh, no, sorry. Need to do this here, 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 here. Okay. If that could repeat innate powers, that would be insane. Okay. There is pushes in this one. Push from a Dahan plus city. So there's that. That's unfortunate. Don't even get the counterattack. So we skip for the rest of the phase. Just give me tons of cities. This is all just going to turn into more fear later. Oh man, I totally forgot about the sands. Good thing we have our innate here. Okay, here, and then we'll go this way. Okay, we get the sands. Why do we get a town here? Why did we just get a town there? That should have been emptied. Did it just build a town? That's isolated. Why don't we just build a town there? Oh, Scotland escalation. Damn. Okay. That's so unfortunate. Ooh, that is very unfortunate. Okay. So we're going to double circuitous. That's value, but it doesn't, like, get me anywhere. Push a city. All these little towns are things that we want Downpour to pick up. It's just going to be a little bit harder this go around. We'll be able to pick up one of them. Certainly it's going to be this one. Let's go here and here. Going 1, 2. That's fine. Yeah, let's get you pushed out. Let's get you broken up. No, I'm fine with that, because if we get a beast event, it'll kill that. And I could just pick up 2 cities for value. So we reclaim, we can jump a presence over, and we can jump a presence over. So we can pick up this land and this land, both with the Dahan. So I can do this. I have to pair the lands first. Boom, boom. Okay, and then we can go here to here. And then we go 1, 2, 3. All of that just to be in Terra level 1. Okay, great. So we reclaim. Single presence movement here. Double presence movement here. Gaining. Elemental Boon, definitely not one that we need. We're very good on elements. Unquenchable Flames is definitely a card that is nice to get repeated. So if we innate defend, that leaves these 3 lands. Call to Guard will certainly take one of them. And then, do we have any just straight up defense here? We have Unbearable Deluge, which doesn't actually accomplish anything for me. We don't have any range 1 defense here. Okay. Call to Ferocity could get the job done here in Land of 6, just kick things out. Gift of Abundance. I don't know, we can use it in the 4 or something. We have no Sacred Site, so I don't want to use any of those Sacred Site cards. Definitely want to play Foundations as often as we can, you know, just clean up land number 6. Well, actually, we don't have presence in land number 6 right now. Yeah, our most important thing is being able to get that defense. So we just need 2 waters and an earth. I guess we do have a Sacred Site here, but one of the things I'm thinking about is I could use Finder to push the presence around. Like, if we did a Call to Guard plus... we don't have any moon cards, do we? I guess we can just pick up this... Well, I was thinking, yeah, we'd have a moon card and then do an any for moon. Well, I can pick up one of those, and then, yeah, we can... Not a turn for the Accelerator Rot, either. Let's go for more majors. Pent Up Calamity. It does Strife and Disease in, like, the 3. Makes that easy to solve for next turn. Cast Down, right? That's the special with Finder. One of the fun things with Pent Up is you could do a ton of damage, but then not kill anything, allowing for Downpour to do all the rest for you. And if there was ever a situation where we have energy for Cast Down, it's this. I mean, could it be a Cast Down? I mean, surely we can Threshold it too. We've got 3 free elements already. Pick up an Earth here. It's very, very, very thresholdable. Put everything onto one board, threshold it, GG. That's pretty funny. Yeah, we'll get rid of you. And then... we go... I can pull a Dahan in to defend one over here. Push you out to defend this. Leaves just one land unaccounted for. Honestly, for elements, it makes my life easier here. Go here, go here. And then on this side, we will go for a... Go for a Gift of Abundance, repeat cast down. Golly. That's super funny. But I need 2 waters this turn. Okay. So if we go here, and because we could repeat and just like clean up the 6 pretty nice. Or sorry, we can't. Ooh, unfortunate. Maybe we don't play it. We're not going to have a Sacred Site, so we don't need to play Sacred Site cards. So maybe we just do like this, plus... maybe we just play it for the elements. Okay. So here, push you, push you, push... We'll pair up these 2, and then we'll go here, going 1, 2, 3. Okay. Defend 2s all around the board. We can pair up here and here. Call to guard, bringing you in for a defend 1. Want to ISO you out so that way we can't explore. We want to ISO you. We want to... we paid for it. We might as well use it. I guess we could just ISO you out. Pairing up these 2. Going here. Then pairing again for here. And then yet Finder has to lose a presence. Okay, we're taking no Blight this turn. And I think we're well set up to not take Blight next turn. Yeah, I got no pushes. We'll just remove Blight from the card. Ooh, this is a really big one. Okay. So we can preserve this, which is obviously a really big deal. Do we want to go for the 7 or go for the 7? Oh my gosh. Could have gotten to the 5. Ooh, I like that little, that bell sound. That's fun. And we got Terror level 2. Let's go. Best cast down you've ever seen. Alright, so we have 0 invaders ravaging on this next turn. This is now when we want to take the opportunity to just try and go big. So obviously this is going to be a Foundations turn. And probably an Accelerator Rot turn too. Like, I think we just play all 3 of these cards. And then we'll just play like Foundations, Gift of Abundance. I'm a really big fan of that node. It just makes so many little problems not problems. I know it's, some people aren't a huge fan of it, but I certainly am. So we go here and here. And then we go here over. We'll just wait. Like, we don't... Like, one element's not going to change anything for us. Over here on the Downpour side, we're going to be playing those 2 cards. Do we want to go for a 3rd card play? I think not. Like, there's no reason for us to have to throw away extra presents. Right, because Finder needs to get their presents back. So let's see. If we discard 2, play 2, that leaves 2 cards in hand. Let's see, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. The extra earth doesn't make a difference to me, but the extra water does. 4, that's already 2 repeats. Let's just consider a major. Dream of the Untouched Land is interesting. Vigor of the Breaking Dawn can be really strong in combination with Offer Passage. And one of the cool things with Vigor is that it costs less than 4. But we got rid of our animal card. But yeah, it is super off element for us. It's not going to get thresholded. I don't think... I guess this one can be. Because we have obviously sufficient water. We have the air. So all we need is an air animal in order to threshold winds. And one of the cool things with winds is it can help you get to that Terror level 3. But we're a long ways out from that. Okay. Actually, no. Let's change the way I'm going to grow. Let's go here. Making a sacred site. Let's just take the opportunity to remove a blight while we can. Or, hold on a second, or we do a Gift of Abundance, that way Accelerated Rot. Yeah, now with that threshold, we go Accelerated Rot here, repeat Accelerated Rot here. So we do this instead. Okay, Gift of Abundance, repeat power card, and because we're going to have to lose a bunch of presents for Finder, we're just going to bring it back somewhere. It's going to get destroyed immediately. So we'll go here. We want to isolate out the coastal mountain jungles because we don't want to have to deal with those problems. We could also choose to isolate out some inland sands. But because these don't match, we have no way of hedging our bets here. Do I have any other range 0? I got this one. Sure. Doesn't really do anything. Isolate a land. We get to push a single invader. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. We don't have the +1 range on everything. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If we push this city out, then that'll full clear. Okay, Finder's gonna lose a presence here. Ooh, 3 elements, huh? I'll have to pay 3 energy, which is nothing. Just like discard. Permanent element, eh? What kind of a permanent element would I want to get? Maybe a plant? So that way, if I get a plant on 2 card plays, because I'll be picking up this earth nice and soon. So if I pick up the earth water, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 waters, 7, 8 waters off of G2, so it'll be sufficient there. Then I'll be 1 earth, 1 plant short, so I just play this, and then we hit our water nourishes. But this one is the one that's really good. That's the extra fear and the minus health. So an air would help me out here. Because I got the free air in addition to this one. Then I'm just going to be 1 air. Like this is my water earth, right? So my air will just, yeah, I'll just be 1 air short. Okay. Over here, it's looking like it's a moon pull. I'll skip you, forge a web. Discard, pay an energy. Okay. moon, and air. Oh, there's actually no way to get value from that. Okay, that's fine. We'll go here. One and two to land with the Han, set up symbols. Okay, 2 defensive ones when there's 0 invaders ravaging. That's cool. Okay. Let's make a lot of fear. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 accelerator rot, full clears here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Accelerator rot, full clears here. That's pretty sensible to me. So moving to the same terrain, obviously wetlands. And then moving to something that's also inland. Okay, so let's do this one first. Okay, we get to repeat it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We said that that one's 1. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That one's 1. This one's ravaging immediately, so let's go here. Okay. I could use to move these 2 into here, so that way that solves that land. So if we pair up here and here, then we go here, going 1, 2. Okay, next turn, we've got these lands to deal with. That's fine. We can defend that with a call to guard. Here we can just push or something. So Path's Tide is matching terrain. So that kind of makes that easy. Oh man, Scotland has such a huge fear deck. It's still a whole fear card, plus obviously the 1 fear. So that was 2 repeats. We do get 1 more repeat, so we can just kind of pick off a town somewhere. Could kill this town. 10 explorers, golly. Kill this town. Okay, 5 fear cards. That's going to do a lot of work for us. Cast Down's not the mage that I want. Irresistible Call could be, though. More utility. I only have 3 presents on the board. So that's something to pay attention to. As far as winning the game goes, these are sitting in the jungles. We have infinite range this turn. So we can do some funny things. like where you move presence like this. Not that that's good, it's just that you can do it. Because it's not good. So I could get this city pushed into like here, and we can hit it with the Talons of Lightning. No, we're gonna be short on energy for that. Portents of Disaster. There we go. That's the kind of card that you want. Just bulk fear. Or just fear bomb our way through the deck. Got those lands ravaging. Oh, I got that land ravaging too. Gross. That's going to be passively defended. We can throw some presence in here, get that guy defended too. So we're at the point of the game where really we just need to kill cities. We don't have much time left, but we're going to be making quite a few cities, actually. Making cities. Well, that'll die. Okay, so this one's one to deal with. That one's one to deal with. That one should die too. We could just repeat Call to Guard with a gift. Where's that? Gift of Abundance. So yeah, Call to Guard will hit here and here. We'll passively defend this by playing any Earth card. And then Finder will... Yeah, we'll do Unbearable Deluge. We'll do this. So defended, 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 take a blight. That's fine. Deny a city from existing. So now looking at looking at one city being built. Okay. Wait, what am I doing? No, we want to ISO out here and here so we don't get the Scotland 6. Because that's another way that you're going to get cities. Okay. I think that's what we're going to do. Gosh, at the end it's all just tight and calculated. Suddenly I forgot to talk. Well, this is tricky. Because we're definitely going to want some fast powers next turn. But we also don't have much presence left on the board. I guess we will accept fragmentation. Accept fragmentation up here. Going there. And there. Alright, lots of fear cards. Scapegoats. Alright. Just kill tons of explorers. By tons, we mean 2. Sport does not affect the coast. Okay. Gather into the coast. So right now this is counterattacking for 6. I don't see any reason to gather anything into a coastal land. I guess we could, like, bring you in, but that's not a threat. We could bring 2 explorers in from here. Ooh. Okay. Pop you. Finally close out the backside really nicely. Pop you, I guess. Because the towns are going to die. So this is my last inland town. Mountain jungle. Okay, so that's going to die. So there's going to be no Scotland 6 here. No Scotland 6 here. This will have a Scotland 6. No, it won't because it's isolated. That will, but that's whatever. So let's see. Right now this is counterattacking for 6. It's going to be just an explorer behind. That's fine. Okay. So this is going to leave me with just 1 city left on the board. All I have to do is kill that city and we win. Which is easy because I can just put a Finder Presence in there, push it into a qualifying land, Talons of Lightning, GG. Or we can just use Ways of Shores and Heartland into Talons of Lightning, GG. Okay. Oh my gosh, so what do we need here? We need a mountains or a wetlands. That's really all we gotta do. Oh man. Oh, what a brain burner. We'll just, do whatever. I don't think there's no source restrictions, right? We gotta really make sure we don't screw this up. Okay. And it's range 3, so you can do whatever the heck you want. And then just go here. Why not? Oh, actually, we could have thresholded it. That's fun. Why not? Let's threshold it. Nah, whatever. There's too many clicks. I need to take a break. Or we can just do the Piles of Fear. We can do that. And then over here, we'll do anything. We don't actually have to do anything, and we are just off to the races. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We get all the repeats, so then this will give us 5 bonus fear on top of it all. So that'll be a whole fear card of bonus fear. Still not enough for a fear victory, but it is enough for a Terror level 3 victory. Whew. Oh man, what a game. Definitely made a few mistakes in there. I think that little error that we made early in the game with E6, well, I don't know if there's always a way to play it better, but had we gotten the isolate on E6, the game would have been a lot smaller, and we would have had a lot more freedom with our powers, because there would just be a couple lands that just wouldn't even exist in the game, really. So, whew, that is that is the new fun excitement with Promo Pack 2. We got 2 new spirits. We got the new Adversary. And thank you guys all so much for watching. Have yourself a great day.